the third passage, the A-B set, you see how passage A and passage B are really saying the same thing, where passage A is just saying it about comedians and passage B is saying it about chefs. Both passages are primarily concerned with discussing how social norms replace legal recourse. Because I forgot to talk about Fernando, but, that's what we're going to say to him. Social norms replace legal recourse in certain areas, and that's your answer choice E in question 13. For 14, something that passage A talks about that B doesn't is the idea of enforcement. The whole last paragraph, these norms are not merely hortatory. Hortatory? Hortatory. I looked it up. It means urging or encouraging or exhorting. You don't say that word that way. I'm doing it for emphasis. To exhort, I didn't look this up. I'm just guessing. To exhort probably comes from the same root as hortatory. So they're not just hortatory rules. They have teeth. They have enforcement measures. They're enforced with sanctions, line 29. There's no talk of enforcement in passage B, and that's why answer choice C is the right answer there. For question 15, something, again, that passage A says, but passage B doesn't. For answer choice B, why do the members choose not to make use of the legal protections? I've got it in the first paragraph of passage A. Why? It's a product of both, line 9, practical considerations and legal hurdles that make success difficult. While we are told that in line 44, legal protections are available but very seldom used, we're not told why. And that's the difference, and that's why B is the right answer. For 16, what would A agree with? And we know that A believes B, comedians would be more likely to protect their comedic material through copyright law if they had greater assurance that they could successfully bring suit, if the success were better assured. We know the author believes that because she says it. The thing that brings about the non-existence of lawsuits is the practical consideration and the legal hurdles that make success difficult and uncertain. That's why they don't do it. Success is difficult and uncertain. So if you could make success more certain, we'd see more legal recourse. For 17, something that's supported by the information, something that we just know is true. And answer choice E, comedians and chefs both derive some professional benefit from the social norms. Absolutely. The social norms take place of legal recourse. The reason you have those social norms is to protect the integrity of your work and the ability to market your work. And the passage says so. Using this informal system in line 35, comedians are able to assert ownership of jokes. There is a benefit. They can regulate their use and transfer. They can impose the sanctions, and they can maintain substantial incentives to invest in new material. In line 52, the function of this social norm is analogous to patenting. It acknowledges the right to exclude others from practicing his or her invention. There's a benefit derived from the use of social norms. For 18, the analogy between comedians and copyright law is the same as that we were talking about this earlier, between chefs and the trade secrecy law. Because comedians have copyright law available to them and they don't use it. Chefs, in line 45, have trade secrecy laws that would protect their trade secrets as long as they keep them secret. And they don't use them. So that's why answer choice D is right, because it's another area of law that is not being used, although we're not told why. Although I guess it's because of the secrecy thing, like a trade secrecy law. I'm just going to give you some law. A trade secrecy law only protects the contents of a trade secret. So it will only protect your recipe so long as that recipe is secret. So it's like the formula for Coca-Cola as a classic example. If you are, a chef in a restaurant, you may not want to keep your recipes secret because you might want the other chefs in that restaurant to be able to cook the food. Or you might want to publish that recipe and make money off its publication. All right. We don't care about any of that. I just thought it was interesting. For 19, The author of A would agree with which of the following? A, the social norms make it possible for individual comedians to recoup the costs associated. Well, we know that social norms do the same thing as legal recourses, right? That's the whole point of the passage. And legal protection, well, I'll just point you to, we'll start in line 16. Conventional IP wisdom holds that without formal legal protection, there'd be no production of creative works because creators would be deterred by the unlikelihood of recouping the cost. So, legal protections allow creators to recoup the cost of their creations. Social norms do the same thing that the legal processes do. Social norms allow the creators to recoup the costs. Finally, question 20, something that supports the argument made in B. And remember when we were talking about question 14, B never discusses enforcement, right? And so answer choice B here gives us a mode of enforcement of these social norms. If chefs are significantly more likely to deny information to colleagues whom they believe have violated their social norms, there's an enforcement mechanism, and it makes it sound like those social norms really will keep people from misbehaving. And that's why B is the right answer, and that finishes this third passage set. So here's the deal with these free videos. They're intended to serve a very narrow purpose. For those times when you're wondering, why is that the right answer? You can just come here for a complete library and find out why it was the right answer. And I hope that you'll find that it was very instructive. Of course, the other part of the deal is that since LSAC publishes all of their tests along with test keys, that means that there's no barrier to entry for test prep. And you can hear the air quotes, I hope. Anybody can, and lots of people have, set up shop and call themselves test prep companies. And they've got the questions, they've got the answer keys, and they just try to explain to you why the right answer is right. And then they charge you money for it? That is wrong. I want to put a stop to it. I want to sweep the legs right out from under them. It is bad for you. It's bad for me too. So if you want to know what the right answer is and why the right answer is right, I want you to be able to come here and find it out for free without paying anybody for it. That's very different from what I do in the paid course. What I think has value about what I do is that I can tell you ahead of time what every question wants from you, what to expect from the right answer, how to formulate a right answer, and then how you can expect wrong answers to sound, so that you know before you ever open up a test book exactly what to expect. And all the practice videos that are part of the paid course are just me putting that theory into practice. It's just the rubber meeting the road. In other words, I'm going to show you based on what we've done before how we're going to react when it comes up next time. And that bit, knowing what to do the next time you see something, that I think is worth paying for. And if you agree, I'd love to have you in the course. And if not, that's fine too. Don't pay anybody to explain why right answers are right. Just watch these for free. Enjoy.